Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Look, if you're a dad, or maybe you share your life with one, I really want you to tune in right now. Because today we're diving deep into the groundbreaking biological and psychological science of fatherhood. Now, for decades, early infant development research basically focused entirely on the mother, right? Her voice, her face, her attachment style. Fathers were kind of just studied in terms of, well, how much they helped out. But recent science, it is telling a completely different story. It usually starts with this incredibly common internal monologue for new dads. I love this baby more than anything, but I literally have no idea what they need from me right now. Sound familiar? It happens so often. Mom becomes the center of feeding, soothing, and sleeping, while dad is hovering in the background trying his absolute best to figure out where he fits into the whole shebang. Well, today, we are going to completely dismantle that cultural myth. The idea of the father as just a backup parent or some supporting character, it's done. Because what the research is showing is absolutely going to change the way every father sees his role. Okay, let's dive right into this. Have you ever heard the term patrescence? Basically, men are actually biologically wired for parenthood through a really profound physical transition. It's this period of rapid neurobiological adjustment and adaptation that kicks in when a guy becomes a dad. We are talking about parenting literally changing men's bodies and brains. It impacts their brain structure, their hormones, their mental health, their whole sense of identity. Nature fully, 100% intended human males to be right there in the thick of parenthood. To really get how special this is, you kind of gotta zoom out and look at the whole animal kingdom. So while about 90% of bird species have these active dads who build nests and feed their chicks, mammals are a totally different ballgame. Human fathers are actually part of an elite 5% of mammals that are biologically designed for deep, hands-on caregiving. Just 5%. The depth and breadth of human paternal contribution is incredibly rare, and it's honestly a huge part of what makes our species so flexible and resilient. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly why human babies need so much care to begin with. We evolved into an alloparenting species. Now, what does that mean? It means infants flourish when they receive care from multiple consistent figures, not just one primary person. Babies are literally designed to learn best from exposure to a variety of carers, absolutely including fathers. They thrive on different caregiving styles, which leads us right into how a dad's behavior distinctly and uniquely benefits the infant. The crucial thing to remember here is different, not less. Babies simply don't experience their fathers the exact same way they experience their mothers. For instance, a dad's lower-pitched voice and unique speech rhythms, they actually help build a much more complete map of human communication in the baby's brain, which speeds up language development. And when it comes to playtime, fathers naturally lean towards what experts call activation play. It's physical, it's unpredictable, maybe a little bit challenging. Think about tossing a baby in the air and catching them safely. That teaches the baby that the world contains surprises, sure, but that surprises can be safely managed. It literally teaches them courage at a fundamental neurological level. So, okay, we know fathers sound different and they play differently. But what about comfort? Think about the physical impact of a father's touch for a second. What do you actually think happens neurologically when a dad holds his baby skin to skin? Do you think it's maybe less effective than when a mom does it? Let's take a look at some seriously surprising scientific data from infant neurobiology. Now, what's truly fascinating here is that the baby's physiological responses, we're talking dropping cortisol stress levels, regulated breathing, stabilized heart rates, even their body temperature evening out, they are the exact same responses that happen on the mother's chest, not kinda similar, exactly the same. The baby's nervous system does not distinguish between a mom's chest and a dad's chest when it comes to feeling safe and warm. So every single time a father holds his baby, a deep foundational attachment is forming. And check this out. While the baby's body is calming down, the father's brain is physically transforming. Seriously, neuroimaging research from a huge longitudinal study at the University of Southern California showed that first-time fathers actually lose cortical gray matter volume after their infant's birth. Now I know, a shrinking brain sounds pretty bad at first, right? But researchers actually believe this gray matter loss is an adaptive streamlining. Basically, the dad's brain is rewiring itself to work way more efficiently so it can handle the intense cognitive challenges and motivations of parenthood. But of course, this brain rewiring comes with real-life consequences. It's a trade-off. The fathers who lose more brain volume are actually way more motivated to engage in parenthood, they enjoy it more, and they spend more time with their kids. But on the flip side, they also report more frequent sleep disturbances and much higher symptoms of postpartum depression and distress. Stepping up to this essential role brings immense joy, but let's be real, it also brings deep exhaustion and vulnerability. That's exactly why talking about a father's mental health is absolutely critical.
Yet culturally and systemically, we're seriously lagging behind the biology. Roughly 40% of countries around the world, and yeah, that includes the US, unfortunately do not offer paid paternity leave to support this huge transition. Trying to care for kids in a culture that doesn't adequately support parents, it generates immense stress. Fathers need the time to bond and adapt just as much as mothers do.
And let me tell you, fathers desperately want this time. 76%. That is the number of men surveyed in a recent UN study who said they feel like they spend way too little time with their children. There was this massive, overwhelming desire among men to just be present. But get this, that same study noted that only 23% of men believed they'd actually be treated positively at work if they took paid leave. The desire is definitely there, but the societal support? Mostly missing. So the really crucial point here is that fathers are navigating this massive biological shift, often totally without a safety net. And it's leading to what experts are now calling a male loneliness epidemic. Since there are way fewer built-in parenting communities for dads out there, fathers have to actively build their own networks. As one psychologist who specializes in male postpartum depression put it brilliantly and simply, dude, don't be isolated. Finding community and seeking support from other parents is literally essential to surviving the newborn phase. Now, when a father is supported, the impact on the child is nothing short of staggering. Let's pivot back to the baby's needs for a second. Research shows that presence isn't just being in the same room scrolling on a phone. It is genuine, face-to-face emotional availability. And the amount of time a dad spends in this state of genuine presence during that very first year of life, it's actually one of the strongest predictors of that child's emotional intelligence at age 5. Those brief, fully present moments build something in the baby's brain that literally nothing else can. An emotional presence totally extends to how a dad interacts with the world around him. Babies are like little sponges. They're constantly scanning their environment. When a baby sees their father speak to their mother with warmth and kindness, it registers right in their nervous system as a foundational belief that the world is a safe place. Plus, when fathers step away from that old cultural pressure to be this unshakable, emotionless rock, and instead they shed a tear at something beautiful or just laugh out loud, they are modeling for their kid exactly what it means to be a fully regulated human being. Now, look, if you're watching this and starting to feel a little overwhelmed by the weight of all this responsibility, please hear this. Your baby does not need a perfect father. They do not need someone who has read every single parenting book or knows all the secret techniques, or someone who never, ever loses their patience. And hey, if you didn't feel this instant, all-consuming wave of magical love the very second your baby was born, you are not broken. Building a real relationship just takes time. Because what the science quietly shows us is that a father's love and his brain-building power do not work through perfection. They work through consistency. They work through repetition. It is the accumulated weight of 1,000 ordinary, messy, imperfect moments. The slow Saturday mornings, the super awkward diaper changes, the middle of the night floor pacing. Every single time you simply show up and try, your baby's brain is building on that knowledge. We really have to stop assuming that only women are innately wired for caregiving. The science is definitive here. Men are biologically, neurologically, and emotionally capable of adapting to parenting just as deeply as mothers. Both sexes undergo profound neurobiological changes to support parenting. Great caregivers are made, not born, and you're being made into one every single day you choose to engage. Your voice builds their language. Your play builds their courage. You holding them builds their nervous system. You are absolutely not a backup parent. You are one of the 2 most important people in your baby's entire world, and your decision to simply stay and be present forms the foundation of who they're going to become. So, I'm going to leave you with this final question. How will you show up in the ordinary moments today? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope you walk away from this seeing fatherhood in a completely new light.